Devaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Devaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Namaskrityam
Naranjaiva Narottamam
Naranjana
Devim
Narottamam
Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim
Tato Jayamudiraye
Tato Jaya Mudirayet
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavate Uttamasloke
Bhagavate
Bhaktin
Namaskrityam
Bhavatir Naistiti
Bhaktin Bhavati Naistaki
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Vasudevaya
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Nandagopa Kumaraya
Nandagopa Kumaraya
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Hare Krishna. Welcome all the devotees for the morning Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam discussion. Today we are going to discuss Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1, text number 5, 215. The chapter name is the first step for self-God realization. First step for God realization. Okay. Please repeat the sloga behind me. Tasmād bhārata sarvātmā
Tasmād bhārata sarvātmā
bhagavān īśvaro hariḥ
bhagavān īśvaro hariḥ
śrotavyaḥ kīrtitavyaś
śrotavyaḥ kīrtitavyaś
smartavyaś cecchatābhayam
smartavyaś cecchatābhayam.
Okay. Word by word meaning, please repeat behind me. Tasmād.
Tasmāt.
For this reason.
For this reason.
Bharata.
Bhārata.
O descendant of Bharata.
Who descendant of Bharata.
Sarvātmā.
Sarvātmā.
The Supersoul.
The Supersoul.
Bhagavān.
Bhagavān.
The Personality of Godhead.
Personality of Godhead.
īśvaraḥ. The
Īśvaro.
controller. hariḥ.
hariḥ.
The Lord.
The Lord.
Who vanquishes all miseries.
Who vanquishes all miseries.
Śrotavyaḥ.
Śrotavyaḥ.
Is to be heard.
Is to be heard.
Kīrtitavyaḥ.
Cecchatābhayam.
To be glorified.
Glorified.
Cha.
Also.
Also. Smartavyaḥ.
Smartavyaḥ.
To be remembered.
Be remembered.
Cha.
And
icchatā.
icchatā.
Of one who desires.
Of one who desires.
Abhayam.
Abhayam.
Freedom.
Freedom.
Translation: Purport by Divine Grace Abhay Charanavinda A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada.
Jai Śrīla Prabhupada.
Translation, please repeat behind me. O descendant of King Bharata.
O descendant of King Bharata.
One who desires. To be free from. All miseries. Must hear about. Glorify. And also. Remember the personality of Godhead.
Remember the personality of Godhead.
Who is the super soul?
The
The controller. And the savior. From all miseries. Purport. In the previous verse, Śrī Śukadeva Gosvāmī has described how the foolish materially attached men are wasting their valuable time in the improvement of the material conditions of life by sleeping, indulging in sex life, developing economic condition, and maintaining a band of relatives who are to be vanquished in the year of oblivion. Being engaged in all these materialistic activities, the living soul entangles himself in the cycle of the law of fruitive actions. This entails the chain of birth and death in the 84 lakhs of species of life. The aquatics, the vegetables, the reptiles, the birds and beasts, and uncivilized men, and then again to a human form, which is the chance of getting out of the cycle of fruitive action. Therefore, if one desire freedom from this vicious cycle, then one must cease to act as a karmi or enjoyer of the results of one's own work, good or bad. One should not do anything, either good or bad, or on his own account, but must execute everything on behalf of the Supreme Lord, the ultimate proprietor of everything that be. This process of doing work is recommended in Bhagavad-gītā 9.27. Also, where instruction is given for working on the Lord's account. Therefore, one should first of all hear about the Lord. When one has perfectly and scrutinizingly heard, one must glorify his acts and deeds, and thus it will become possible to remember constantly the transcendental nature of the Lord. Hearing about and glorifying the Lord are identical with the transcendental nature of the Lord, and by doing, one will be always in the association of the Lord. This brings freedom from all sort of fear. The Lord is a Supersoul, Paramatma, present in the hearts of all living beings, and thus by the above hearing and glorifying process, the Lord invites the association of all his creation. This process of hearing about and glorifying the Lord is applicable for everyone, whoever he may be, and it will lead one to the ultimate success in everything in which one may be engaged by providence. There are many classes of human being, the fruity workers, the empiric philosopher, the mystic yogis, and ultimately the unalloyed devotees. For all of them, one and the same process is applicable for achieving the desired success. Everyone wants to free from all kinds of fear, and everyone wants to fullest extent of happiness in life. The perfect process of achieving this here and now is recommended in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is uttered by such a great authority as Śrīla Śukadeva Gosvāmī. By hearing about the glorifying the Lord, all the person's activities become molded into spiritual activities, and thus all consumption of material miseries become completely vanquished. Om Tassat. Om Ajnānatimirandasya Jnānāñjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Putare Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashacha Dejadarani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Till yesterday, we are starting the second chapter in 4 days back. Last 4 days, we discussed what Śukadeva Gosvāmī is replying to Parikshit Maharaj. So Parikshit Maharaj asked the question, what we have to do at the time of death, or what you have to do, for all the human beings, he's asked the question, what are the human beings have to do? And particularly at the time of death, that is the question. So for that, Parikshit Maharaj is Śukadeva Gosvāmī is giving the answer. So he talked about Grahastha, Grahamedi, and last 3 days we discussed how the Grahamedis, they are entangled with the family affection and sense gratification, and because of that they are unable to see the vision to go out of this material world. They are always getting into the repeated birth and death. And today, Parikshit Maharaj, he was mentioned here as a king, this descendant of King Bharata. Actually, Śukadeva Gosvāmī is calling him as a descendant of King Bharata. Why? Because he is coming from the Bharata Varsha. Bharata Varsha means he is a descendant of the Bharata. There is a great king, as a Bharata, is a forefather of Parikshit Maharaj. And also, not only Parikshit Maharaj, all the other Pandavas also, somewhere the other places, they used to, Krishna used to call them as a Bharata. Arjuna also sometimes called as Bharata by Krishna. And Yudhishthira also called Bharata by Krishna. So these are all the various things, since because they are the descendants of Bharata. So here, like Krishna, here Śukadeva Gosvāmī also calling him as a descendant of King Bharata. Because Bharata was a great emperor. So you have to specify that you are such a great parampara. So for that, you want to specify that point. That's the reason he is calling him as Bharata. And giving the answer, because last 3 days we discussed, last 3 slokas, we discussed about the miseries of life and what are the problems we are facing if you are not aware of the God consciousness, you don't have the self-realization, then what are the problems? What are the things people tend to addict? All those things we discussed. So now he is giving the solution. So for that problems, now Śukadeva Gosvāmī is giving the solution. So what he is saying that one who desire to be free from all miseries must hear about and glorify and also remember the personality of Godhead. So if at all, if you want to go out of this miseries, all the miseries, what we have to do? Enoughly we have to hear, and once we hear, we have to glorify the Lord and we need to remember the personality of Godhead. So that's why it is called kirtana. Glorifying means kirtana. Hearing means smaran means remembrance. Hearing means shravanam. Shravanam, kirtanam, smaranam. These 3 things he is saying that. That's why hearing, glorifying, remembering. Right? These 3 things. And he is talking about for whom we need to, all these things we need to do. Hearing, glorifying, and remembering the personality of Godhead, who is a super soul, who is the controller of all, controller and the savior from all miseries. So that person we have to glorify. That's the not only we need to enoughly we need to hear, enoughly we need to glorify, enoughly we need to remember. These 3 activities will save us from all the miseries. So that is the solution he is giving. This is the ultimate solution. And Krishna also telling in Bhagavad-gītā, there are multiple places he was referencing that thing. So, for example, first, if you see the 13th chapter, the 9th sloka, Krishna here is saying that this is the knowledge. What is the knowledge a person should have? So, the basic knowledge he should have that Janma Mritti Jaravyadi Dukkha Doshan Darshanam. That knowledge a person should have. This is the minimum knowledge the person should have. What is the problem of our life? Janma Mritti Jaravadi Dukkha Doshan Darshanam. Because of that is the basic problem for all our dukkha, for all our miseries in our life. So we have to find a solution for this Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi. The all 4 things. That means birth, death, old age, and disease. This is the 4 things which are the basic reason for all the problems in our life. This is not only for us, it is for all the living beings. And Krishna is saying in Bhagavad-gītā, 9th chapter, 27th verse. Yat karoshi, yat asnasi, yat jugasi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaundeyam, takureshva mat arpanam. So what he is saying, Krishna, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kundi, as an offering to me. So Krishna is saying that whatever the activities you do, so somebody we will do the women, housewives, they will do the cooking at home. Do it for Krishna. Cook for Krishna. You are cleaning the house, clean it for Krishna. I'm going to do the puja, so I need to clean the house. Krishna is there at home, so I need to keep the surrounding clean. So clean the house. That is also do it for Krishna. And you are going for office work. So that also arpani means that also we need to offer to Krishna. That okay, I'm going to office, I am earning money. So that Lakshmi, I'm going to utilize for Krishna's service. So, and little money I'm going to utilize for maintaining my family so that we can do the Krishna's service without any break. So in that mood, we have to do. And are not attached with that the material work, like you are doing the material, we are all doing the material job outside. We should not attach to that, and we should not greed, and we should not try to get into the ladder of okay, how can I get into the next level. Don't want to get into that. If you are doing your, if you are remembering Krishna, if you are doing your sadhana perfectly, automatically Krishna will give the intelligence. Automatically he will give the progress in your material life also. So that is now, we don't want to put any effort for our material progress, because automatically that will be happen when you put your effort on the spiritual activities. When you offer that fruit of the result, whatever the result we are getting from the material activities, if you put that effort into the Krishna's lotus feet, automatically Krishna will take care of everything. So that is why here he is saying that, please offer to me whatever you do, and whatever you eat, that also offer to me. First, whatever we are cooking, we cook for Krishna and offer to the Lord, then take whatever you are eating, offer to me. And what it is not like a whatever you eat. So then people should not catch hold of this word. Okay, whatever you eat. So I will eat non-vegetarian, I will eat this and I will eat that. All those things we should not say, because the previous sloka itself, he clearly told, Krishna clearly told what he will eat. The previous sloka, if you see, the 9.26, Krishna clearly told, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tattaham bhakti upartam asnami prayata manaham. So if you offer me with love and devotion, a leaf, a flower, a fruit or water, I will accept it. So Krishna want only this four thing with love and devotion: leaf, flower, fruit or water. So you should not entertain Krishna with the non-vegetarian things and all those stuffs, because that he didn't say whatever the sense, in the four things, whatever the things, whatever you are eating, let's offer to eat. Whatever you offer or give away. So if somebody you are giving the dana to others, do that as an offering to the Krishna. I'm giving this to others so that they will get some Krishna consciousness. In that way, we have to give that. If you offer something to others, that way we have to offer. Suppose you are offering food to others. That's your food for life. There are so many organizations are doing that food for life. So we should not blindly, we should not do that. We should offer a Krishna prasadam to others, so that that person will get who are eating that prasadam, who are honoring that prasadam, that person will get the Krishna bhakti. That's the reason we have to, whatever we are offering or give away, that is also do that as an offering to Krishna. And whatever the austerities we perform, there are so many austerities we perform. We are waking up in the morning, early morning, and taking bath and doing the Mangalarti, and whatever the activities, austerities we are following. We are fasting for the Ekadasi and Vaishnavas, the great Vaishnavas, pure devotees, birth and disappearance days. So all those things, do that as an offering to Krishna, so that we will be, the basic principle is we have to remember Krishna in all the aspects. That is the basic thing. And Prabhupada used to say, whenever there is a example, he used to say, the mundane example is, suppose before marriage, once it is engaged or there is a lovers, the boy and girl, once they engaged, the both of them, even though they are staying in a different locations, then currently nowadays we have the mobile phone and all. Earlier we don't have mobile phones and all. So during that time, before the olden days, they always be in the remembrance of each other. So the boy will remember that girl, even though he is doing other activities, he is doing his office work, he is eating, he is doing other activity, other household works. The woman also doing some other household works. During that time also, they will remember each other. The boy will remember the girl will remember the boy, even though they are doing the work. So that manner, how we are intensely, even though we are doing other activities, how we are remembering that girl or boy, similar way, we have to remember the Lord also, whatever the activities we are doing. So that is the injection of Vedas as well. So we always need to remember. And in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, there is a seventh canto, 5th chapter, 23, sloka number is 23. So Prahlad Maharaj, what he is saying, recommending, he is recommending Shri Prahlada Uvacha, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. These are the 9 ways of Navaveda Bhakti. These are the 9 ways we can do the Bhakti. And Prabhupada explaining in the purport, he is saying that it is not necessary you need to follow all the 9. You no need to expert in all the 9. Whichever you are attracted, whichever you are inclined to feel to do, that you catch hold of that, do that. If you are Shravanam, if you are a great hearer, if you want to hear many things, if you have the potency to hear, if you have the ambition, if you have the interest to hear more things, then do the Shravanam. Catch hold of only one thing. It is not necessary to catch hold of all the 9 things, and it's better to be a master of one than a servant of all. Okay, so better. So there's a master of any one of the activity. If you do, then that will take you to the Krishna. So that's why he is saying that Shravanam. First, we need to hear about the Lord. We need to hear about the Lord enough. So that is Shravanam. Actually, in the sloka also, even Śukadeva Gosvāmī also saying the 3 things: Shravanam, Kirtanam, and Sparanam, Vishnu Sparanam. This is the 3 things. These are the first 3 things we are supposed to do: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Sparanam. Every day we can do Shravanam. So now we are discussing about Krishna. We are discussing about the great devotees like Prahlad Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj, and Śukadeva Gosvāmī. So all these things, we are remembering the Lord and the Lord's devotees. So we are connected with the spirituality. We are connected with the Krishna. So this is the Shravanam. You are hearing. I am doing the preaching. So the preaching is right is the kind of kirtanam. It is kirtan. It's not like only singing. Whatever we are talking about Krishna, that is also a kirtanam. So Shravanam, first we need to hear about enough about God, and Kirtanam, what we need to discuss and we need to sing. All those things are coming under the Kirtanam. That also we need to do. Whatever we are hearing, that also we need to tell to others. That is also one of the Kirtanam. And Vishnu Smaranam, we need to Smaran. That is remembering the Lord. So like how we discussed the Galan by how we are remembering, even though they are doing other activities, in their mind, they are always remember the other person. So similar way that we should have the attraction towards the Lord. In that way, we will, so that we can remember him always. So how to increase the attraction? It is not attraction won't come immediately. When you hear about the Lord, when you do the kirtan about the Lord, then only the remembrance will come to us. That's the reason we need to enoughly, we need to hear. The first step of bhakti is enough hearing is the first step. We don't want to see the Lord directly. It is not possible for us to see the Lord directly. So Prabhupada used to say, if you hear enough, first seeing the Lord through your ears is the first thing in bhakti. So you need to see the Lord through your ears. Enoughly you need to hear. And even Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Swami Maharaj also, when Prabhupada initially, Prabhupada used to attend the Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj classes. One day, I think it is in Vrindavan. So there is a Prabhupada went to Vrindavan and to meet Maharaj, Miss Maharaj, and there is a classes going on. So all over the places, people came over there to Vrindavan, and the class about to start. 95%, all the people went away. So only few people are sitting there. In that, Srila Prabhupada also one of the person. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, he was talking that time. He was telling that, see, many people went away. So you are very interested in hearing. So you will be achieve the Krishna Bhakti. That's the prediction he told in the initial stage of Srila Prabhupada. And also once all of the people came back, then he asked Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Gosvāmī Maharaj, he asked that person, where you went. Then they told we went to darshan of the Lords. So first of all, darshan need to be happen through your ears first. That means you need to hear enoughly, then you need to go for a darshan. Then only it is beneficial. Otherwise, if you simply, without hearing, if you taking darshan, even though you are in the dham, it is just like exercise to your eyes. So there won't be any helpful. You will see something and it is just an exercise to your eyes. That's all. That's the way Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj used to say. So hearing is the vital, it plays the vital role in bhakti. Whatever enoughly we are hearing, it will take us to the next level in the bhakti. It will be a speedy progress in bhakti. So if you are not enoughly hearing, we are not enoughly reading, then what will happen? Our bhakti become superficial. We may lose it. we may lose the interest and it will become superficial, and one day we won't because we are not aware of the some person, then why you want to hear about them? So then we will leave it. So the hearing about, instead of hearing about actors and senior actors, senior actress, okay, how beautiful they are, what is there are so many poets, they are describing their beauty, the actor and actress beauties, how he was the lady is, how he's looked beautiful, all those things. But instead of hearing that how Krishna is beautiful, if you hear that, just we need to shift our consciousness from the mundane people to the Lord. So mundane people, they have the birth, death, old age, and disease. Only that people, they will get old. They're going to. Today they are look like young for us, and after 10 years they will be old. They'll become old, and they will get a disease, and they are going to die. So this is the temporary people. Instead of glorifying the temporary people, and that beauty also temporary for them, and beauty is a beauty, and there is a saying. There is a saying in our India, beauty and youth and youthfulness and money are the guest to our life, in our life. So money and guest, it will come and go. So money once come, it will go anyway. Beauty also like that. Youthfulness also like that. Youthful will come, it will go away. So when they are youth, we will describe like anything. The people used to describe the man and woman, the actor and actress look like, they will glorify like anything. But once they become old, though nobody notice them at all. So this is the way it is happening for the human being, because they are all mundane people. So instead of glorifying the temporary things, if you glorify the Lord, who is always evergreen, ever 16, even though after when Krishna appeared in this material world at the 5,000 years back, we heard about him that he was, even though at the age of, when the Kurukshetra war happened, his age was near to 90. So that time also he was looked like a 16 years boy. So he is always evergreen, ever 16, Krishna. Even today also he is look like ever 16 boy. And we need to take that session of through years. There are so many poets, so many pure devotees glorified him through his poems, like how his Makara Kuntalam, how his hairs, how his eyes look like. All those things, if you hear, you will be mesmerized in that. Then that we need to remember. That means if you remember Krishna, if you make a picture out of inside of our heart, then that Krishna will be appear as a original Krishna in our heart. How he is there in the currently, that Krishna will appear automatically, because by hearing the pure devotees words. So that glorification we should hear. So that today's sloka, what we discussed is, these three things are important in our life to get out of these miseries. There are enough hearing, glorifying, remembrance. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. These three things are very much important so that we can get out of this material world as early as possible. And that also we won't come back again. And even in Bhagavad-gītā 4.8, Krishna is saying the same thing. What he is saying? Sorry, 4.9. Janma karma cha me divyam yevam yo veti tatpadaha tyagtadegam punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attain my eternal abode, O Arjuna. So he is Krishna, directly he is giving the solution. Krishna himself he is giving. Here we are seeing that Śukadeva Gosvāmī is giving the solution, but the same solution given by Krishna also. So one who knows the transcendental appearance and activities of Krishna, there is no need of taking birth again in this material. So there are so many places Krishna also directly referring, many few devotees are saying, just we need to remember Krishna. To remember Krishna, we need to hear enough so that we can hear and we can glorify and we can remember. It should be constantly, it should happen. That way we can get out of this material world as early as possible. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki Jai.